Narendra Modi government sweeping reforms in the education
नई
sector.
एजुकेशन की पॉलिसी लेकर आई
The
है.
country has launched its new education policy in a bid to ramp up digital.
नेशनल एजुकेशन पॉलिसी राष्ट्रीय शिक्षा नीति के संदर्भ में आज का ये इवेंट बहुत ही महत्वपूर्ण है.
The Indian government has replaced a 34-year-old national policy on education framed in 1986 with the new Education Policy 2020 on 29 July 2020. The NEP pitches are 5+3+3+4 designed corresponding to the age group 3 to 8, 8 to 11, 11 to 14 and 14 to 18 respectively. These bring early education under the ambit of formal school. The NEP approved by the Union Cabinet brings in sweeping changes in the education system, including the schools, colleges, as well as the arena of teaching. The highlights of NEP 2020 are a single regulator for higher education institutions, multiple entry and exit options on degree courses, common entrance exams for universities, and low-stake board exams.
Coming to the advantages of new education policy 2020, one of the most impactful policy is the transition from 10+2 format to 5+3+3+4 structure. The system has removed the extremely rigid distinctions between the streams which the students have to choose in 11th standard. In the new multidisciplinary course method, one can pick any subject as they like. For example, biology and philosophy. These changes will take immense burden off the shoulders of the students and might also result in more kids engaging in extracurricular activities and sports. Earlier, schooling was mandatory for children aged between 6 to 14, but according to the new education policy, it will be compulsory for children aged between 3 and 18, which would increase the overall employability in our country. Coming to changes in university and colleges, the government will set up national research foundations with the aim of energizing the research and innovation across all disciplines.
The following are the drawbacks of the national education policy. It misidentifies the causes behind the severe learning crisis and fails to recognize the elephant in the room, namely poor school and teacher accountability. Instead, the NEP provides that the school management committees shall hold schools and teachers accountable. This is a rather unrealistic notion given that SMCs already mandated under the RTE Act were ineffectual. Subsequently, there is no discussion on how to make sports and other physical activities such as dance, yoga and karate a significant part of the curriculum. Lastly, the draft has seemed to have robbed the states by creating an excessively centralized structure of authority and vesting overarching powers to the PM-led Rashtriya Shiksha Ayog. Therefore, the draft should have emphasized more on how to teach and not only on what to teach.
Now I will lay out the comparison between the new and the old education policy. Comparison number 1. Theoretical versus practical learning. The old education system was mainly focused on imparting knowledge through books and numbers, while the new education policy claims to maintain a balance of theoretical and practical learning. Comparison number 2. Robotic versus creative mind. The old education system might be perfect with defined rules and regulations, but the new policy claims to shape the mind for creative thinking with freedom to question and find suitable answers through experimentation. Comparison number 3. Stressful grading versus enjoyable scoring. The old education policy was basically based on memorized performance. One gets good, better or best grades only based on the memorization parameter. But according to the new education policy, the schooling system will emphasize on critical thinking based understanding of concepts with real life experimentation and application.
A gap of 34 long years, including 6 years into the making of a national policy, is a precedent enough to stoke genuine curiosity in the receiving audience. The Kasturi Rangan Committee is being lauded by many for keeping the desire of strengthening the public education system intact while widening the scope of learning to include non-cognitive skills, keeping social justice at the forefront. However, the vagueness which accompanies this policy in terms of proposing a solid implementation plan which needs the current structure to be revamped is largely missing, raising suspicion and widespread discontent in the public sphere who term it as a wishful thought. The quality of an education system greatly depends on the extent of its outreach and the genuine impact it has on the lives of every child, irrespective of caste, class, and gender, with the promotion of an equitable structure. This is only possible if executed in the close collaboration of the grassroots and the top tier officials. With that being said, detailed planning and meticulous implementation can bring out the intricacies of this policy in the public sphere, and the onus of the responsibility lies on the lawmakers to ensure enough deliberation and participation of all sane voices alike.